Hello CyberG, my name is Subiji. Welcome to Click Mind. Have you ever heard about inner child? Inner child is a metaphor for a part of our unconscious mind that has been picking up messages in our childhood experiences and holds a lot of memories, emotions, cognitive patterns, and belief for the future. Inner child is not always linked to childhood trauma. It could hold joy, a good memory about our first book that our mom bought for us, or the love that we feel at the glisten of our daddy's eyes when we showed our first painting to him. These good memories in the past will be a great foundation for our core beliefs to create a positive self-image. However, the negative core beliefs that we internalize as children when we were growing will inflict permanent wounds on our inner child and determine how we perceive and interpret the world. The unhealed wounds of inner child have a huge influence on our present day about our assumption about life and the way we treat others. In this video, we will address 5 inner child wounds that shape your personality. But before we jump into that, if you are new to this channel and you are interested to promoting the awareness about mental health, please consider to subscribe our channel and be part of us. Now let's get into the topic. Codependence. We commonly mistaken codependence as a clingy person, but in fact, it is more than just someone who always shows up at your house every day. Goes much deeper than being clingy. Codependence is when someone depends on other people for their emotional needs, the performance of both inconsequential and crucial daily and also psychological functions. Codependent relationships don't just occur between romantic partners, but also happen between friends and family members. Codependence is rooted in unhealthy family systems. When you don't get your needs met in childhood, your brain will do whatever it needs to do to find a way to get them met, even though it means over-relying on others for the need of safety or a sense of purpose outside. Over time, this kid loses the ability to generate self-esteem from within, and this adult kid will try to find fulfillment on the outside. Aggressive behaviors. Anger is a common response to events that seem unfair or in which you have been made a victim. The trauma in childhood often affects the way survivors see the world and face the trouble. Aggressive behavior is often the result of childhood violence and the unresolved grief of abuse. Between 2018 till 2019, Taipei Medical University studied about childhood trauma and aggression in persons convicted for homicide, and an exploratory study examines the roles of plasma oxytocin. They assessed the childhood trauma experience in 108 participants, including 33% convicted for homicide and 75 non-offending healthy participants. All participants were checked for aggression using the modified overt aggression scale, and their plasma oxytocin levels were obtained and also using childhood trauma questionnaires. Results indicated that people convicted for homicide had higher childhood trauma scores and lower plasma oxytocin levels than healthy controls. They also found that people convicted for homicide had a higher prevalence of physical abuse during childhood than the control group in this study. Perfectionism. Are you being too hard on yourself and always fed by the thoughts that you're never good enough? This could be signs of perfectionism. I've talked about perfectionists in other video. If you are curious to know, you can check the link in the description box. Perfectionism is considered as a personality trait which consists of having high standards, self-criticism, and concern of others' evaluation. Some studies believe that perfectionism may be a trauma response that was learned through childhood experience. Growing up with critical, abusive, judgmental caretakers can develop the need to be perfect to seek approval or avoid punishments. Undisciplined behavior. Discipline comes from the Latin word disciplina, which means teaching. With appropriate and consistent discipline, children will learn about responsibility to their own action, self-control, telling the truth, and self-monitoring. Discipline rewards child's adult to live more productively and encourages for appropriate behavior. Children need parents to model self-discipline rather than preach it because they learn from what their parents actually do, not from what their parents say they have to do. When parents fail to model self-discipline, the children become undisciplined, mooch around, procrastinate, rebel, and act impulsively without thinking. Magical thinking. Magical thinking is the belief that certain thoughts, wishes, desire, behaviors can change the external world. It is common for your children to think magically, like a little girl believed that Cinderella had to be kind and patient with her stepmother because a charming prince will come and change her life forever. For children, magical thinking is a common transitory phase in life that will disappear as they begin to understand the concept of cause and effect and how to apply logic to solve their problems. If that little girl is wounded through unmet dependency needs, the adult she becomes is still contaminated by the magical thinking that waiting will bring her to wonderful results, like Cinderella, who waits for her Prince Charming and her life changes forever. Cyberg, those were 5 inner child wounds that shape your personality. These examples just a few out of many maladaptive coping mechanisms caused by childhood trauma. This video content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice. If this video relates with you or someone you know, please don't be hesitant to reach out professional help. Thank you for watching and see you in the next topics. Bye bye.